mind, actually.
We are getting into it now. We do have our classic Malibu Rising chance, and we're actually going to see a triple bucket from the side of Malibu Rising with the custom X-Blosher, the Vanilla Dreadringer, and Vanilla Tri, and the Siege Unit as well. And we do see that Reef Slider also come out from the side of Synthetic Beans like we were talking about before.
Yeah, Synthetic Beans also running that double cooler comp with Trivo and Hen, and the sword that just went down to the Tri. Sherbert getting a nice pick at the start there as Malibu Rising is immediate control of the zone here.
And we see another goes down to Tri-Saucers. Unfortunately, the Reef Slider is going to pick off Rose there, and Matt is going to get the Explosion and force a jump out from Mercy, pushing the zone into the side of Synthetic Beans, but the zone rotating over to Malibu Rising spawn. We see Saito here really trying to get value off of that Zip Caster, trying to really cause a distraction, possibly get a pick here, does not. But we do see a run over slider onto Rose and the Explosion on the X-Blow, with Synthetic Beans really holding Malibu into their spawn.
Yeah, Synthetic Beans pushing up already. A cooler online for them that is going to allow them to come back fast if they end up getting taken down as early. We see Matt going in to try and get a pick, is unable to find anything. Saito also having to back out. It's going to be Malibu Rising's time to try and get a pushback. We see the Reef Slider come in, not able to find anything. And Inkjet also coming in as we see the Malibu Rising able to get a pick there and is able to take back the zone, and hopefully we get to see some more points. Hopefully they get to see some more points on the board.
Yeah, that jet was absolutely crucial for their push, but we do see 3 of Malibu Rising all tugged on the right side to that moving zone, with Dion following short, getting 2 on Malibu Rising, canceling that splashdown. Leaving the match into a 2v2, with Malibu still able to really hold that zone. I mean, the double bucket paint is really good for holding zone, especially a big zone like this for Bluefin. We do see Matt trying to get the flank off, possibly a slider. Is he going for cheese? Is he going for kills? He is going for kills. He's going to manage to get 2, but Rose is going to come with a counter slider and be able to trade off and cause a wipeout for Malibu Rising, is going to go back into the lead for Synthetic Beans.
Yeah, Synthetic Beans taking back the zone, stopping Malibu Rising's push at 27. You see their try, unfortunately, does go down to Sherbert. Sherbert trying to get the flank around, using that Inkjet to get some picks here. As we see Eon currently. Oh, okay. Well, okay, we're back. We are back on Bluefin zone.
A little bit of a switch up there, but that's fine. We see the X-Blow being able to push back the pen, really good with those off angles through. Obviously, Bucket was really good at those off angles. Zip once again trying to distract, unfortunately not getting a pick, but being able to pull some attention away. Matt does get a pick here off of Sherbert. The zone is just going back and forth between half green and half purple. We do see a trail off here. It's just Mercy, a delayed wipe onto Malibu Rising.
Yeah, very classic Bluefin zones flipping as the zone keeps going back and forth, moving all the time. We see Matt here getting a pick on the Sherbert using that Reef Slider, gets taken out by the Wave Breaker, however. As we see Malibu Rising currently just trying to get some picks, getting another pick on the Dino. We see the Reef Slider come in, is able to end up finding someone after the Reef Slider. Malibu Rising is able to take the zone back, and is starting to, again, just trying to get down that penalty, just trying and attempt to get the lead here.
Yeah, and we can see Matt once again really trying to dive in, trying to make use of that frame data against the Dreadringer. Unfortunately, not going to do much as Rose does hold her own. He does get a trade off there. The slider is able to get Mercy there, as Mercy was back into a corner, and he's going to wipe out. With 1 minute remaining on the clock, Synthetic Beans is in the lead of the zone. The penalty points are counting down, and we do have a disconnect on the side of Malibu Rising. They lost Mercy on the Siege Unit. Now it's down to a 4v3 with no penalty on the clock.
That is a very, very unfortunate DC. We do actually see a trade there with the both specials end up taking each other out, but fortunately as we begin to close out the game here, Synthetic Beans is going to be taking 1 game here Very unfortunate DC for Malibu
Yes.
Rising.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But both sides played extremely well. That was a very back and forth game. Literally both teams got the score down to like 20-27, and for like the full match until that last minute with the disconnect, neither team lost their penalty points. It was so back and forth and such good performance from both sides.
Yeah, it was such a really good game to just be able to watch, especially for our first game here for Wave B, being able to see. I feel like a much more closer Bluefin Zones game.
Yeah.
Uh,
We unfortunately did not see anyone fall in the water. That I was a little upset about. I can't lie.
yeah, that is a little unfortunate, but I do think that we got to see some very funny reef slider trades or
Yeah,
just some
definitely.
very interesting special interactions. But as try and get the comm errors hopefully fixed for next game, we are getting into our second game here on Clamblitz Shipshape. I feel a very interesting map.
I have a love-hate relationship with this map though. Because Shipshape's a good map. I won't deny that. It's a decent map. I mean, Zones and Tower are played all the time on it. Rain is like, eh. If I see it in solo, I'm like, I'll play it, whatever. Clams, I have a little bit more of a gripe with. Because Shipshape clams, in a way, reminds me of old S2 Inkblot clams. Because Inkblot in S2 on clams used to have, it didn't have the left ramp, it had the step. And then in Splatoon 3 they changed it to a ramp. So now there's two ramps. Shipshape has the same problem, where there is the step leading to the basket. But there is also that alternate path that is similarly uninkable, this time being Grates instead of Slay.
Yeah, it's such an interesting map because it has the ramp behind the basket. When I don't know, started trying to make a lot more ramps be existing on some of the stages. I know Mincemeat when it got renovated had that
Yes, I
block
have too.
on right changed to a ramp. But I guess getting back onto some of the weapons here, I'm interested in seeing if we see any changes in comps. I think especially like something such as an X-Flosher. I'm not too sure if it's going to end up finding as much to do on this map compared to Heavy Splatling, where Heavy is a lot better on the grates, I feel, compared to X-Flosher.
Yes, definitely. I mean, Heavy can just hold a charge on that Grates, and if anyone wants to just try to hold forward there, they can just let go of their charge and just beam them down. Even if Matt wants to pop a Reef Slider, for example, that startup is totally prone to dying to Heavy Splatling. I also think it's possible we do see a switch off of Drogmere. The slider isn't great for pushing basket, but we could see something different from the fact that it can go for the grades. As we start, we do actually see a little bit of a change up for Malibu Rising for both sides. Actually, we do see that custom blaster with Cytogas. We see Matt changing to Vanilla Dualies, Mercy changing to Vanilla Dynamo. We do see Rose actually switching to, interestingly enough, the Gecko Splash.
That's a very interesting weapon, but one I appreciate being able to see here, as both teams currently just in a very neutral state. Rose actually getting a pick onto the Dualies, getting the blaster down as well. Dino coming in immediately to get another pick on the Eon, as nearly 3 members down on the side of Synthetic Beans, as we see, unfortunately, Dino is going to get taken out here. 2 getting taken out on the side of Malibu Rising as Synthetic Beans starts to push back against their push.
It definitely is, once again, pretty much like a back and forth through mid. We see picks going off, trades going off, and Dynamo is going to get that Tri-Slosher out. We have another trade here. The blaster not exactly being able to camp the jump with while living. You see Malibu does have a bit of control in mid. Really have to be careful of their spacing. I mean, we saw again with the Explode, the frame kind of, wasn't exactly in their favor. We do see the blaster unable to get the Dynamo, possibly with the Sparks. We do see there's just Rose left, possibly jumping out. And that is going to be a mid switch for Synthetic Beans.
Yeah, Synthetic Beans doesn't have a whole lot of specials outside of that splashdown currently online. They just use their crab though, which may be able to get them in. As we see the blaster also trying to get a push in. Unfortunately, not able to. Is gonna go down here. We see Dino is able to eventually find the pick onto the pens. Another splashdown coming in on the side of Synthetic Beans. Try and get some amount of trades here. Fortunately, is also going to go down. We've been seeing a lot of back and forth this game. Neither team is really able to find any push here as we're now 2 minutes into this game.
Yeah, it really is that kind of this difference. I mean, once you get a really good push going off, I mean, you need to get that second fight. If you don't win that second fight, it's just be right back over to you. You see the crab here on the grades attempting to secure court of Malibu Rising. You see, ooh, a pick off the crab. Is going to be able to continue holding it in, going down to the Dynamo, but taking out the Jet. Synthetic Beans still able to hold it in, getting a pick off the Dynamo. Cytogas in their choke, unfortunately, going down to the Tri-Saucer. Once again, just so much back and forth. Matt is going to be behind the in their spawn. This is going to be the first score of the game, almost 3 minutes in.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does look like it could end here. Synthetic Beans is actually taking some picks here as we see Neon coming in to get another 4 clams in, getting them down to 68. Does look like they're going to have to be backing out here, but are able to take out Sugar on their way out. Able to get it down a good push into 68. Honestly, it's some points on the board. It's a pretty solid push here, and they still have control over mid here. They might be looking to try and find another pick here, or another push here, as long as they can get enough people down on the side of Malibu Rising and get some specials in.
Yeah, and you do see Matt just running straight past the row, is able to get one pick, another score in down the penalty things. Unfortunately, Saito is going to go down to a trade with Matt actually living that, despite the fact that the miss was on the landing jump. Unfortunately, Leon is going to go down in the process, allowing Malibu Rising to have a lot of paint on their side, but all 4 Synthetic Beans are still up. That game is still good. There is a pick down there. This could be the switch that Malibu needs.
Yeah, Malibu Rising does have 2 clans here. Unfortunately, it's going to have to go 2 down. A very unfortunate situation as they were just about to push back in. Synthetic Beans trying to take some members out also is going to go 2 down themselves, probably unable to find another push here. They're going to need some specials if they want to try and push out. They do have that cooler online that does allow them to play a little bit closer. As Saito coming in to try and get close to the basket here. Multiple fights happening, multiple people going down, so many information happening all at the same time here. And Synthetic Beans is finally able to get that crab online, finally able to try and attempt to make another push here. But honestly, Malibu Rising doesn't have another clam. Looks like with the wipeout, it looks like that this is going to end up having to be closer for game 2, going to Synthetic Beans.
That was a really good push at the end. I actually did not realize until a little bit into that, but Malibu did need plans there. They had some of the power. I mean, even if they did have the power, they really had to stop Synthetic Beans from scoring because since Synthetic Beans were in the lead before going into overtime, it would just stop. Right? There's no second chance there. So that stopping that final push really was crucial for Malibu to get down. Unfortunately, they did not. But this is a best of 5. If that was a BO3, it would be done. It would be over. We would move on to the next set. But this is the best of 5. We could see a 3-2 reverse sweep from Malibu.
Yeah, especially as we are getting into our game 3 here. TC Inkblot, a stage that I have usually called the final destination of Splatoon.
That's a really good name for it. Thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, that's the FT of Splatoon.
Yeah, I remember. I think Falco Flyer was doing they're doing a map poll or something, trying to put maps on a different alignment chart. And I think the Inkblot Art Academy got the happy to see it tower control map.
You know what's playable in a game where there's a good chunk of maps that are not playable on most modes, if not all modes, you'll tell. So the fact that Inkblot Tower is still playable at this point is good. You know, it's classic. It's pretty good for all weapons. I mean, I think buckets do have a little bit of an advantage due to stacks being high, it being really good in bats. So maybe Malibu can, think of the word, can take advantage of that.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing if that triple bucket comp comes back out. But also, additionally, on the side for Synthetic Beans, I'd be actually interested in if they switch over to V Blaster for that bubble.
That is true. It is very possible. I mean, Bubble is extremely good in tower. We do see the same comp from the Ship game, and we do actually see a custom range blaster from Saito on the side of Synthetic Beans.
Yeah, very interesting comp switches all around. Honestly, with the Kraken Splat Bomb kit from the custom range, it's also going to offer some substance. Immediately, Rose immediately. Synthetic Beans coming in, getting a wipeout instantly. They want this push. They want to take this third game, and they're gonna get it by any means necessary.
Yeah, that was an insane opening. They really do want to close out the splash. We do see that the splash wall does unfortunately block the slider from going past the ramp, but Leon and Nat are still really holding those bats really well. I spoke too soon. It was just Bono left, which really with a delayed flight. With Malibu able to come back to that. We're not even a minute in, and we're already this heavily into the match.
Yeah, I mean, almost instantly again, 3 members down on the side of Malibu Rising is just Mercy and that Dynamo left. You see the Kraken coming inside of taking out Sherbert, trying to come in and getting some more picks here, getting a double with Dino. Not able to find any more before their Kraken runs out, but Synthetic Beans comes in, takes the second checkpoint on their way immediately to the third. They also do have that cooler online. You see, it's so many things happening.
Yeah, he's going to be almost one last time. Stuck as the last person. Malibu is able to shut this down. Synthetic went all the way down to 16. A really good push, which honestly forces Malibu to almost, if not completely, clear that last check in order to be able to take the lead back in the game.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have to get a lot of. They're gonna have to gain so much ground here, and unfortunately, again, just 2 members going down. Again, as Synthetic Beans is once again just pushing. Malibu Rising has not been able to find any picks this game. Not been able to really get a push going. Have to see another 2 members going down. Synthetic Beans not really wanting to take too much of an opportunity to push up here, just wanting to gain some ground. Most likely looking again to just take that bats to see the Kraken coming in. Kraken on the bats. Immediately going to try and attempt to push anyone down. Sherbert going down to the Kraken. On their way to try and attempt to close out this third checkpoint. As we see again just so many members on Malibu Rising going down.
Yeah, I mean, this could be it. We see the slider in Sherbert here, allowing for Synthetic Beans to continue pushing check. We see multiple people to clear check faster. Rose and Mercy are going to be able to kill Matt. Are they going to be able to get Saito? No! They're going to actually stop Saito from pushing all the way until the end for a knockout. Leon is going to get back on. Synthetic Beans are still pushing it. Sherbert's getting pushed down too. Attempting to get a third, unfortunately going down to the range blaster, a classic outrange moment. And we just see Saito sharking here, waiting for their team to get back. And we do see 3 once again all the way on the plat of Malibu. They are just non-stop running in, pushing this tower.
Yeah, they've just been jumping as much as they can, trying to push this tower. They've been on Malibu Rising's plat for like a solid minute at this point. Unfortunately, still not able to be able to close it out here. They might be able to get it this time. We see another wipeout with the Kraken online. it looks Malibu Rising really needs to push here, but it looks like, unfortunately, or I guess depending on who you ask, fortunately or unfortunately, that will be game 3 and our set 1 of Wave B going to Synthetic Beans.
Yes, that was a very interesting match. I mean, Synthetic Beans just kind of ran in constantly. That constant run-in diving pressure